The real test of confidence isn't when things go right. It's when the plan falls apart. Hey, y'all, what's happening? Robert Kennedy III, RK3, that's me. Welcome to the MINDSHiFT Monday, where we don't just talk about mindset. We shift it so that you can shift your life. Yes, I'm RK3, and today we're tackling how to lead and how to move forward with confidence when your plan crumbles. Hey, what's going on? Let's say what's up to the people in the chat. What's going on, Jessica? Hey, good to see you. Alex, good to see you this morning. All right, Nadine, good to see you this morning. Will, good. Natural J, so glad that y'all are here in the space and in the place. If you're here and you want to shout out and I'm not seeing you, do me a favor and just say here in the comments so that I can give you a shout out really quickly. We're going live on quite a few places this morning. We're going live on Facebook, we're live on Instagram, we're live on Substack, and we're live on YouTube. Yeah, we're doing all the things this morning. Do me a favor, if you want to know when we're going live, text live to 240-557-8679. Live to 240-557-8679. Yes. Oh yeah, we got some great stuff coming on. Make sure that you join us today in the after show. If you want to hang out with us for a little bit, go to mindshiftmonday.com/Zoom. Oh yeah, I'm seeing the chat lighten up here. What's going on? Judith Schneidman, so good to see you this morning. Hey, Letitia Renee, good to see you this morning from the Eugene Taylor brand. I love it. Twyla Grigsby, I'm glad that y'all are here. My goodness, we got a whole lot of different things going on. I think I've mentioned before, but if I have not, I want to share with you the Amplify Your Voice with Video challenge coming up in September 22nd through 24th. Go to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. If you want to know how to grab more attention, increase your visibility, get better at sharing who you are, what you're up to, and how you can solve people's problems. If you want to do that in person or online, join us for the Amplify Your Voice with Video 3-day challenge coming in September 22nd through 24th. Go to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com to register. And yes, we will get rocking and rolling. Hey, y'all, listen up. The plan may change, but the leader in you or the person in you doesn't have to crumble with it. We're about to jump on into the show. Let's do it. Hey, what is going on? Hey, Maria Mariko Consulting. So glad that you're here. So good to see you. Milton Dodd on Instagram. Glad that you're here, my friend. Hey, y'all, what's going on? It's the Monday. Oh, I'm getting it mixed up. It's the MINDSHiFT Monday. What's going on? So glad that you're here in the space, in the place. Yeah. All right. So glad. Yeah, we're getting ready to rock and roll and jump in today. So here's the question. Think about it. How many times have you set a plan only to watch it collapse? The question isn't if it will happen, it's how you'll respond when it does. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've just type me in the comments in the chat if you've ever put a plan together and then the plan just crumbled, or it got derailed, or there was a detour, something happened. If it's just me, I'm raising like two hands. If I could raise my feet right now without falling over, I would, right? Because this is what happens. This is what happens. I'll tell you my story here. So it was about 2007, and my family lived in the state of Massachusetts at the time. And we were at the space where we'd been married about 7 years, had 3 kids. No. We didn't have 3 kids yet. We had 2. at the time, but we were pregnant with our third. And we were, yes, I say we were pregnant. Yes, we were. Right. We were pregnant with our third child, and we were in this space where we were making plans to move from the state of Massachusetts, where we were. So we started to make these plans. My wife was working. I was teaching online. I was a faculty for an online university at the time. And my wife was a financial analyst with a large insurance company. Now, we decided that we were going to move from Massachusetts to Maryland. And so she started looking, and I was working online. So my job could travel. My anywhere we were, I could work remotely. So we went through the process. My wife got a job in the state of Maryland, and we made the move to Maryland in 2008. Now, I won't say what was happening in 2008 just yet. We're going to get back to it. But we're both working. By the time we moved, we had our third child in February of that year. So when we moved from Massachusetts to Maryland, we now had 3 kids ranging in ages from 4 years and 10 months to 5 months, right? So we had 4 years and 10 months, 2 years and a few months, and 5 months old. 3 kids, all under the age of 5. So this was before, again, I was serious in business. So the plan at this point was to move, keep working, build our bank account, buy a new house, send our kids to private schools. That was the plan. 10 days after we arrived in Maryland, I got a phone call from the school that I was working for. And the gentleman on the call said, "Robert, I hate to have this call. And I also need to let you know that in the office with me is the director of HR." Now, if you ever get a call or if you ever go into a meeting and the HR director is there, it is never good for you unless you are the HR director. And even then, it may not be a comfortable call. So I get this call 10 days after we moved. So before I share that, let me back up for a second. My wife was making a certain amount of money in Massachusetts. I was making a certain amount of money, probably about $47,000, $48,000, right? I was a teacher, it was in education. And my wife, when we moved, the increase that she got was just about what I was making, right? So she had an increase in salary of about $40,000+. So in our minds, our plan is like, yeah, we got this increase. Woo, we're balling. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this. We're about to be making it rain. We're about to go crazy. Right? So, but not go crazy. But we have plans. We have plans. So we move, and 10 days after we move, I get the call. "Robert, I hate to have this call. The HR director is here. We are going to have to go in another direction. You are redundant." Right? So, oh my gosh. What do you do when you have these plans and then the unexpected happens? Listen, I don't know if you know what happens when situations like that happen. When you have these plans in your head and you're going, you are making, you have these ideas, pictures in your mind, videos start playing in your brain about what's going to happen based on the plans that you have, and then the plans get short-circuited unexpectedly. What do you do? How do you manage it? How do you handle it? Here's what happens. Many people, when something like that happens, when something unexpected, when something dramatic, when something traumatic happens, they freeze or they panic because they equate changing plans with failure, right? They equate the unexpected happening to them as failure. Oh my gosh, people are going to criticize me. Oh my goodness, what is everybody going to say? And so because people equate changing plans with failure, they cling to certainty instead of building adaptability. How do I know this? How many people do you know that are in a job that they absolutely hate, but they would rather stay in the job or the circumstance or the relationship that they absolutely hate because it's the devil they know, because it's safe, because it's certain? Right? Many people would rather take the safe route instead of pursuing growth. As a matter of fact, after getting let go, I pursued quite a few different jobs. I did the regular stuff. I went on monster.com, simply hired, indeed.com, and I did all of that stuff, but I couldn't find a job, so I ended up forming a business. I had that business for about 5 years, and that business failed. And one of the questions that I heard most often as that business was failing was, why don't you go back to teaching? Why don't you go back to teaching? And in their minds, the people that were asking me that question were probably saying, you know, this is what makes sense. This is logical. This is reality. This is something that you can do, dude. You can. And in my mind, what I heard was, why don't you crawl back to what you know? That's what I heard. That's what I heard. And people, despite their best intentions, people wanted me to go back to the safe route, to cling to certainty instead of building adaptability. Let me share another story with you real quick before we end this morning and before we give you some action items. I like to give actions. So two friends, Joe and Brian, went to art school. Yeah, Joe and Brian, pretty nondescript names, right? So Joe and Brian both graduated and they started working in California. Brian was an industrial designer, but Brian hated his job. Brian felt like he was not making the impact that he wanted to make. He wasn't doing what he envisioned himself doing in the world. Hated his job and was looking for a way out. So he calls up his friend Joe, and Joe's like, hey, dude, yeah, I don't know if I'm liking what I'm doing either. So let's start a business together. Let's start a design business. We went to art school. We have art degrees. We know how to do some design. Let's do that together. So they decide that they're going to start this business together. Brian moves from LA to San Francisco. This is 2007. Brian moves from LA to San Francisco with only $1,000 in his bank account. I don't know what you can do in San Francisco, in California, with just $1,000. You're going to run out of that money in about 3 days. Right? Buy 2 tanks of gas and you're out of $1,000 in 2007. So Brian moves to San Francisco, only $1,000 in his bank account. They start this business. And like some businesses, the business starts going okay at first, but it begins to struggle because they can't find enough business to make this go. They can't find enough business to make ends meet. So they're working on this business. They're building this business, but guess what? Then in 2008, the housing market crashes. The global financial markets crash. And this business begins to struggle even more. So now business is struggling. Brian and Joe get a notice that their rent is going to increase by 25%. There are 2 broke recent graduates, and they're like, oh my gosh, where are we going to get this money from? It just so happened that there was a design conference coming up in San Francisco, and all of the hotels in the area were sold out. So Joe had a thought. Joe says, you know what? let us offer our air mattresses, which we have in our closet, for rent to anybody who wants to stay on them during this conference. So it's going to make sense to y'all in just a second here. So they took about $80, launched a website called airbedandbreakfast.com. And they offered some of the designers that were coming to that conference a place to stay for the weekend. Now, was it perfect? Probably not. But if you are intent on getting to this conference, intent on getting learning, and you want a place to stay and every place is sold out, then, it's just a couple of days. You'll do what you need to do. So they spent $80, launched the website, airbedandbreakfast.com, and they offered some designers a place to stay for the weekend. It was such a great experience for them. And they made some money, right? So they decided to do it again. This time, the next big event was the Democratic National Convention in Denver in 2008. Barack Obama speaking. In Denver, there were about 80,000 people expected, but only 27,000 hotel rooms. Ding, 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 ding. Business idea. So they decide that they're going to launch this website again. So they launch their website, airbedandbreakfast.com, again, and they start doing their work. They start going to work. And by the time the convention is just about to happen, they have more than 800 listings on their site. So they intended, their plan was to build a design company. That's why Brian moved. They planned to build a design company. They planned to help people using the degrees that they had earned. But the unexpected happened in 2008. What do you do when the unknown and the unexpected happens? What do you do? What do you do? Just in case you haven't gotten it yet, Brian and Joe shortened the name of their website from airbedandbreakfast.com to airbnb.com. When the unknown happens, strong leaders, confident leaders, they're not broken. Instead, they're built. The unknown doesn't break you. It builds you. Yeah. So, as I said, we've got 3 actions. I don't want to leave this moment. I don't want to leave this day before sharing with you some stuff that you can do. I mean, if you are in this space of, oh my gosh, I've got some stuff coming up. I've got this plan coming up. I've got my mind, my strategic approach locked in. It's on my website. It's in my file. It's in my ClickUp. It's in my Google Drive. It's there. And I'm expecting it to turn out in this way. If you've ever had the experience of something failing and now you're a little bit gun shy, you're in hesitation mode because you don't want to fail again. You don't want to live uncertainty. You don't want to deal with the pain of the pivot. I want to share with you these 3 actions. So if you have a plan and the unexpected happens, McGuire ENTV, glad you're here. E4 Productions, glad that you're here. SNCO Besh, that didn't sound good. Glad that you're here. Thanks for coming on Instagram. Travel Nuggets, thanks for joining. Anna Joe Talks, thanks for coming. C. Marie B, good to see you this morning. All right, so here are our actions. If you are in a space where you have created some strategy or you've created a plan and you're looking to move forward and then the plan explodes spectacularly, here's the first step that I want you to take. I want you to pause before you panic. Take 24 hours before making big decisions. Yeah, there's some stuff that you may need to deal with or fix right away. There's some stuff that you may need to adjust right away. But before you make any big decisions, the first thing that I want you to do is reset your mindset. Reset your mindset. Quite often we have plans and something happens. We got a call from the doctor, or we got a different, our health shifts. We got a different health report. Somebody in our family gets sick. The market changes. We have a vehicle issue. Something happens with one of our children. Something happens with you. What do? Pause before you panic. Before you jump into that mindset or that place of, oh my gosh, why? Pause before you panic. Take 24 hours before making big decisions. And people, again, despite their best intentions, will give you all sorts of advice. They'll come up to you immediately, some of them sensitively, some of them insensitively, and they'll say, you got to do this, you need to do this, and they'll bombard you and maybe even overwhelm or overload you with a lot of different information saying, oh, you need to move, you need to choose, you need to make a decision right now. I want you to pause before you panic. Take 24 hours before making any big decisions and reset your mindset. Action number 2 is I want you to ask better questions. I want you to ask better questions. I want you to replace why me with what's possible now. Replace why me with what's possible now. Right? Because when stuff happens, when we get into that space where life isn't perfect, where things are not moving in the direction that you want, where things look a little bit different than you expected, quite often we internalize it and we begin to say, what is it about me in my life? Why does this always happen to me? Why do I always have to fight? Why do I always have to struggle? Why do I always have to, do something extra? Why does it seem like life is so much easier and better for everybody else? Instead of internalizing it to you, look for the growth in it and ask the question, okay, that happened. Okay, that's real. Okay, there's nothing that I can do to change the fact that that has already taken place. Now, what's possible? What's possible? Item number 3. In chaos, in challenge, in trial, in tribulation, we preaching. I want you to communicate with clarity. So especially if you are a business owner, Milton Dodd said, all my life I had to fight. Right? When you are in a space where the unexpected happens and you lead a team, or you lead a family, or you lead a group, a community, an organization, one of the best things that you can do is communicate honestly and clearly. Communicate honestly and clearly. What does that look like? Well, I'm not 100% certain what's going to happen tomorrow. Here's what I'm going to do today. The market crash and companies are laying off people. Hey, listen, everybody. Here's where we are. I am not 100% certain what is going to happen tomorrow or over the next week. But here's what I'm committed to. I'm committed to making sure that any information that we get, you will know it within 24 hours. I will have some information by Friday about our next steps. And then if things change, immediately begin to say, hey, things have adjusted or things have shifted. Be clear. Okay? Life isn't perfect. But when you communicate clearly, you buy some time, right? You get trust, you get engagement from people, and it builds you as well. Clarity greater than perfection. Yeah. Life is full of resets and detours, y'all. Life is full of resets and detours, and I like to say it this way. Turn your day from reaction into creation. Turn your day from reaction into creation. And all the letters are the same. It's just what you do with the C. Turn your day from reaction. Instead of just responding always to what life does, instead of getting upset at the unexpected, instead of getting annoyed at everything that happens. Your question now, instead of why me, goes to what's possible now. If you're ready to talk about your detours and your resets, I want you to join me in the after show on Zoom in just a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, mindshiftmonday.com/Zoom, and we can hang out and talk a little bit together. All right, so let's do it. Hey, y'all, listen, when the plan falls apart, the leader is revealed. When the plan falls apart, the confidence is revealed. In his book, Think Again, Adam Grant says confidence is not about being right. It's about being open to being wrong. Being right for most of us is safety, and safety is the default for most of us. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go looking for trouble or uncertainty, but what if you lived your life expecting uncertainty and building a mindset that allowed you to bounce back? What if you knew with certainty that uncertainty was a certainty and you lived accordingly? Don't forget, hey, y'all, if you want to create visibility, be heard, and amplify your voice, join us for the Amplify Your Voice with Video 3-Day Challenge in September. Go to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com to register. If you love the messages that we share each week and want a reminder of when we're live, text live to 240-557-8679. Text live to 240-557-8679. Until next time, build a mindset that allows you to experience confidence in chaos. Or, as I always say, change your thoughts, change your world, change your story. I'll see y'all next time on MINDSHiFT Monday. Join me in the Zoom room right now. See ya.